This video chart presentation of Alderon Iron Ore Corp. Alderon trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange under ticker ADV. See a nice move on Thursday, up 6%, closed at 173. I didn't take a look if this was news driven. Just caught my eye because of making the move and pushing above a resistance point after being stuck in a channel now for more than a month. Right around this $1.55 mark as a support, up to a pretty heavy resistance at $1.65. You can see that there was several things going on that we always talk about when looking for a move. Bollinger Bands had tightened up, RSI was creeping upward, MACD was trending back towards zero, even the slow stow was showing a little bit of momentum was building, and you're not going to get a lot from the money flow index at that point because the stock's trading in such a tight range. But this is a really nice look to the MACD. Start to see that sort of divergence towards zero. Should always be attentive to a bigger move coming. Coming up on that key point we look for to move through zero, show the trend is shift towards bullishness. Similar type of thing going on with the slow stow, holding over top of 50 is a sign of momentum staying in the chart. I mean, it's relatively neutral, running right there around 50. But again, we weren't seeing a whole lot of movement in the price per share, but holding on the upper half of the indicator is always an optimistic sign. And as I mentioned, not going to get a lot from the money flow index. It's a gauge of current price versus average prices. And with so little volatility, not a lot of movement in the MFI. Relative strength index had a pretty nice look leading into this though. Kind of battling with that 50 mark. That's a benchmark point that we always talk about. Moves above 50, say the bulls have taken control of momentum. And you can see that's exactly what's happened recently. Now with respect to the candles, I'm going to go ahead and put a support point at $1.60. It does dip below that a little bit, but this stock does happen to pull right back. I'd have my eyes set on $1.60 to hold, which is already a pretty decent drop from the $1.73 closing point. Perhaps even more importantly, I'll be looking at this support point at $1.65. That's the resistance level that the stock pushed through. In classic TA fashion, resistance should become support. So while I mentioned $1.60 at the lower end, I'd be more focused on the $1.65 for Friday trading and ahead into next week. Even if there's any sort of pullback and it can continue to hold that, I'd look for the uptrend to try and continue. And at that point, if it does pull back, there's a support level to bail out on the play. It's a good point for a stop loss. But be that as it may, the indicators are going bullish right now. The stock is pushed to the upper half of the Bollinger Bands. It's now moved above the 50-day moving average as well. And the chart is certainly taking on a much more bullish look. Now, I think the price is going to run into a little bit of resistance right here at $1.80. But I see even more substantial resistance up near $1.95. So those are two key points I'd be looking at from a resistance standpoint. But keep in mind that it does have a 213 as a 52-week high for this stock, which would be the next point I'd be looking for if this $1.95 mark is broken. But I'm not even going to bother drawing that on there right now. The key point with this chart is the move up on an increased volume. And now we'll actually be looking for a little bit more volume as well to try and continue the momentum that the chart's building. So those are the type of things that I'll be looking for in the ADV chart. But as always, merely my interpretation. I'm not a financial consultant. Strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpenny.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure, and do not base any investment decisions upon any material found on the website and/or video chart. No person employed by Allpenny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.